What's up YouTube, Byrdman here with another Destiny 2 video. Today I'm going to be covering 3 weapons that I think are pivotal for every Titan to have before going into the Witch Queen. These are going to be exotics that are not only getting a big old strong buff, but also synergize really well with different exotics that we already have in the armor slot, but also are going to work with Void 3.0. I think especially one of these is like my absolute favorite to use right now just because it already works, and the different changes we're getting with Void 3.0 are going to make it even more busted. Now, before we get into the video, know you can follow me on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch at Byrdman778 and use code BYRD at GFuel checkout. Give it a thumbs up on this video and subscribe to the channel. Helps out so very much. So make sure you're doing that. Now, let's hop right on into the video. Now, the first weapon we're going to cover is the Monte Carlo. Now, the Monte Carlo is a Destiny 1 classic. It was one of my favorites back in Destiny 1, and I'm really glad that it got to be brought back in Destiny 2 because it just overall just works really well with the different builds that we already have. Now, first off, it has fluted barrel, high caliber rounds, and compact stock. But the biggest thing that it has is Markov Chain. This weapon gains increased damage from melee kills and kills with this weapon, and then melee kills grant ammo for this weapon. Now, this can be a charged melee or regular melee, but what's really great about this is just the fact that just shooting your gun and constantly punching people helps out the gun. Gives you extra bonus damage to it, so this is going to really stack well with the 40% buff that we're getting in Witch Queen to these exotic weapons. Now, Monte Carlo method, the intrinsic trait on this weapon, says dealing damage with this weapon reduces your melee cooldown and grants a chance to fully recharge your melee ability with each kill. Now, the reason why I think this weapon is going to be just absolutely bonkers in the Witch Queen is mainly because of Void 3.0. We've already seen for Titan and the Warlock and the Hunter, the fact that Void 3.0 is just going to be an absolute just expanse upon what we already have in Void. But mainly for Titan, just for the fact that we're going to get that shield throw as our new charged melee. Now, I think that we're also going to have the shield bash still, but we're going to concentrate mainly on the shield throw just for the fact that it is adding a ranged melee to the Titan. Now, we already have that in the solar category, but we just don't have that in the Void unless we are using our super. So having that shield throw and being able to just shoot enemies, get our melee back constantly, and just constantly chuck that shield around is going to be insane. Partially because of the fact that we're able to chain like volatile with it, suppression, different abilities like that with it as well. So I'm really excited about this. It's really neat just for the fact that especially just getting some of those charged melee kills already right now will give you that Markov Chain times 5 instantly. I actually found out if you use your charged melee without a detonation, if you get the detonation off, it immediately goes to times 5, so that's really awesome. But all around, the Monte Carlo is going to be an absolute busted weapon in Witch Queen. The next weapon we want to talk about is the Lumina. The Lumina is a hand cannon in your kinetic spawn. It has a chambered compensator on it, accurized rounds, and the polymer grip. Now, the main thing on it is going to be the Blessing of the Sky. Before we talk about Blessing of the Sky, let's look at the noble rounds, the intrinsic trait on this weapon. Kills with this weapon leave behind remnants. Absorbing a remnant converts your next hipfire shot into an ally-seeking noble round and partially refills the magazine. So just getting kills gets those like little orbs that will just like fly towards you. It'll instantly reload your mag for you, so that's really awesome. But the fact that it gives you that those noble rounds to shoot out of your gun for Blessing of the Sky. Using a noble round on an ally heals them and grants both you and them weapon damage bonus for a short duration. What is so great about this is the fact that it just turns you into an absolute support character for your entire team. You just shoot that little round over at them and they're going to get a damage buff as well as start healing, and also it gives you a damage buff as well. So especially with the different things that we're going to have in Void 3.0, all the bonuses that we're going to have to our abilities, the fact that we're adding damage onto it on top of that as well is just really nice. And also the fact that if you get the Lumina Catalyst, you're able to get 2 remnants per kill on an enemy. So again, you'll have noble rounds times 5 pretty consistently. This is a weapon I'm going to be trying out whenever I do the legendary campaign with my friends Chadley and Moxie on day 1, so make sure you're stopping on by for that. But I think this will just be really helpful to just, again, be that support character for them while also giving myself a damage boost and them as well. And again, remember, Lumina will be getting that damage buff, that 40% damage buff from just what they're doing in Witch Queen. So this is going to be absolutely busted. And finally, we have the Sweet Business, a day 1 Destiny 2 exotic. This is one that has always been kind of just amazing, yet no one uses it because I think it kind of looks a little silly. But before we talk about that, let's talk about it. It's got the polynomial rifling on it, has armor-piercing rounds, and then the composite stock. Now, the main perk on it is the business time, sustained fire boosts your range and your fire rate. So this is just nice. You just hold down the trigger, you're going to start getting extra range to your weapon, as well as the fire rate ramping up. Now, The intrinsic trait on this larger magazine increased accuracy when firing from the hip, and then picking up special heavy ammo immediately reloads this weapon. So again, if you put on different things like different ammo finders for those weapons that are in your energy slot and your power slot, you're going to be able to constantly keep this up, just constantly shooting. It's really nice. Again, the fact that we're getting that big old damage buff to it is going to be really cool. But the fact that also it combos already super well with a perk on the Action War Rig, the auto-loading link, steadily reloads a portion of your equipped auto rifles or machine guns magazine from reserves. This is just great just because you're able to constantly shoot the weapon without taking your finger off the trigger. I did an entire lost sector on Europa without taking my finger off the trigger because it's just so dang busted. Now, again, I think this is going to be more fun just to use in general. It's not going to really be like, oh my God, this is the most busted thing ever. It's just going to be very cool to use. So I think people need to make sure they're checking out the Sweet Business, make sure you're checking out the Acting War Rig as well in regards to it. But again, this is going to be a sweet weapon to use. Please don't cancel me for that. Thanks for stopping by this short little video kind of covering a couple weapons that you might want to be grabbing before Witch Queen, especially again on Titans. I think these are also going to work really well on the other characters, especially the Monte Carlo and the Lumina. Sweet Business is probably going to be more of a Titan exclusive, I would say, but the other two will definitely be very viable for you to use. Now, again, we're going to be covering a lot of content during Witch Queen. I'm going to be doing a lot of Void 3.0 stuff. I've already got like 4 different builds that I have lined up to try out and test out. So make sure you're stopping on by my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Byrdman778. Make sure you're checking out my Twitter to know when I'm going live and just some bad tweets and stuff like that, twitter.com/Byrdman778. And then make sure you're staying over here on YouTube, youtube.com/Byrdman778. Guys, again, a thumbs up on the video does way more than you realize to help me out, so I really appreciate it. And also subscribing to the channel. Guys, thank you so much. Hope you have a great night, day, whatever it may be.